I'll share a quick anecdote, right?
It's 100% true. It is expensive to not invest in compliance. It is much less expensive to invest in proactive compliance.
So it is expensive, meaning what you're saying is there is dollars to be spent on being compliant, but from a quote unquote expense standpoint, it's less expensive to be compliant because you don't want to get sued for millions of dollars because you are not compliant, rather than spend a much smaller percentage of that amount upfront to be proactive in being compliant, right? That's what you're trying to say there. So if it's 0.1%, so what you're saying is if you chose not to invest that 0.1% upfront, depending again on the industry, and I have an interest in fintech and we'll come to that shortly, you mentioned that the cost is twofold, right? One is the cost of the fines themselves directly as to what the government might fine you and whatnot. But two is the sunk cost, if you will, right? Meaning the teams that were working on something else now have to stop doing what they were doing. So there is a cost associated with that as well. I almost want to say that there's probably a third intangible cost, which is the trust that you end up losing, right? There is a lot of cost. And so simply there is no alternative to having this. Anything else that somebody should be concerned about not spending enough time or money on compliance, Richa?
I say that in an effort to not what we call breach shame, because right now it's very, very difficult to cover every single eventuality. But if you have a proactive compliance approach, you build trust on the front end and you're more ready to deal with the consequences on the other side. And that limits the effect significantly of an issue.